Next up, let's take a look at a release on the MAD label, and that's called Zub. This one's by the Pickford brothers originally, ported over from their Spectrum version to the Commodore 64. Let's check it out. Here's the front cover of Zub then, and I think George Lucas rang, he'd like Boba Fett back. Bit of a blatant clone of the famous Star Wars character there on the front. The packaging itself is actually a curious mixture between the two different styles of MAD packaging. Just bear with me a second. This is the first wave MAD packaging, which had these cartoony style artwork on the cover, and this is the second style, which had the MAD logo, the sort of metallic MAD logo at the bottom. So this one's actually kind of a mixture of the two, with the comic style artwork but with the more serious logo at the bottom there. Anyway, just a little bit of an aside there. So the spine just says Zub on it, you know, usual sort of stuff. And back cover's got screenshots, various things going on there, and fairly detailed description of what the game is about, with a lot of mentions of Zub. So if we take a look inside, we've got quite a bit more detail, bit of backstory about the game there. And inside, just one page used up inside, which explains the mission and hints, controls, clever bits, parallax like you've never seen it, 100 frames of animation, high res attributes. We'll see, I imagine. Anyway, that's pretty much it. The rest of the inlay's blank. Nice loading screen on this game. Some interesting things going on there. And you can see the MAD Games logo, which is the logo taken from the first style packaging in the corner there. No loading music, which is pretty typical for the Mastertronic games. So the game is loaded and you're presented with this title screen with reams and reams of text scrolling at various speeds across the screen. The aim of the game is at the top there. There's some technical details which spin past really quickly, but it does say it took 6 weeks to make the game. Pretty good going there. This was originally done by the Pickford brothers for the Spectrum. As you can see there, the graphics are by Steve Pickford and the concepts by John Pickford, and it was obviously then ported over to the Commodore 64. So moving on, just to mention for the music there as well, which is very repetitive, very short and very annoying. So select easy peasy level, I think, and joystick, and away we go. Now conversely, the music in the actual game is really good. It's a tune by David Whittaker, always good stuff by him, and it's a very sort of sinister and fitting tune, a bit panic inducing as time goes by. So as you can see, the graphics are obviously based on the Spectrum versions, with the limited amount of colours for each sprite, but they are nicely done, nice and detailed. And the way you play the game is, the idea of each level is basically just to get to the top of the level by navigating these platforms, which you do by jumping on them by pushing up, and then push down either left or right to move them until you find the next one. And you're also supposed to shoot the enemies, which never die, but shooting them does ward them off you. They suck down an energy bar if they hit you, which obviously we don't want to happen. The energy bar, I'll show you in a second, is this thing here, and the map. The map only shows where you are and where the alien is, it doesn't show where the platforms are, which makes it a bit tricky at times. You also lose energy if you run into the edges of the screen, so you have to be careful. Where did you disappear to? So it's a pretty straightforward concept. Graphically it's nice, and there's some good music, as I've mentioned. So I'll just play along for a bit and see what happens. It's pretty basic stuff. The most frustrating thing is when you accidentally aren't pushing down to move the platform, you run off and then you have to go all the way from top to the bottom again. Right, that's got me to the top of the stage then, and you then get teleported to another level, which, as you can see from this map, it's taking me to level 2. Let's see how I get on here. Oh, that's the edge of the screen. No indication of where that is apart from looking at the map as well. So it's the same concept, slightly different colours. Slightly more dangerous alien, perhaps. Oh, I've done a big jump there, I didn't mean to. The aliens are nice, cute little characters for the most part. That's what I was talking about accidentally running off thing. Now you might remember that in the inlay it said there was 100 frames of animation. Now I assume most of those are for Zub, and the animation of him jumping and so on is quite cool. But the animation of him running just seems to be 2 frames, which is a little bit strange if they've got all these frames of animation available. Go away, octopus fellow. Oh. As you can see, my energy's getting sucked away quite quickly, and it does make more sense to avoid rather than try and shoot the creatures for the most part, although it does become more difficult as time progresses as well. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That is so annoying. All the way to the bottom. And then you've got to find your platform and do the whole thing again. A real exercise in frustration. Especially if one platform's right on the other side of the screen like this. They're quite handily placed together. I must be nearly at the top of this one now, surely. Oh, you're joking me. It must have been right on the left hand side. Go away. There we go, I'm at the top of the level, so I'll move on to the next stage, which I'm guessing is going to be stage 3. No, it's taking me back to stage 1. That's annoying. There must be more than one platform at the top of the screen. Oh, you get this screen coming up as well, where you get to get some power pills. I'm not entirely sure what they do. Maybe they give you more energy. Seemingly not. I'm not sure what the power pills do. But I've got to do the whole thing for level 1 again. I'm assuming there must be 2 platforms on the top level, and depending on which one you go to, it sends you to a different next screen. The problem is, how do you know when you're on the second to top platform? Because they all look the same. So I'll carry on playing and sum up by saying, because I'm not going to last much longer, there's things about the game I like. The animation's cool, the graphics are cute and nicely drawn, the music's good. The main problem with the game really is that it's got this frustration of falling off a platform right near the top, and it's actually just not a particularly fun game, which is a shame because a lot of work's obviously gone into the design of the game in terms of the way it looks and sounds. It's just a bit boring gameplay wise. Oh, that was handy. So this was a mad game, so £2.99 was the asking price. For me, not really worth £2.99, despite the good points. They are outweighed a little bit too much by the bad points. So that pretty much sums it up for this one. I will carry on until I lose my life, but I don't think you need to see any more. That was Zub.